106.3. 106.3. It's not just a radio station, it's a movement.
Can't get enough of it.
We're your solution to a stressful lifestyle.
All on one radio station.
Lead Radio 106.3. Your modern lifestyle radio.
All right, still the Business Monday. And yes, I've been learning a whole lot. It's making me want to go register for courses right now. But anyways, let's now talk about, you mentioned investment as well. And when people hear investments, they are confused. They're like, what do you mean? Well, I don't know that I should go to bank and tell them that my 10,000 naira I want to start investing in something, or I should go and invest in Ponzi scheme, which is why some people do invest in Ponzi scheme at the end of the day, and they end up losing all their money because they're trying to just make better money. They want more income and everything like that. So they think, oh, somebody said if you put 10,000 naira, you get 20,000 naira. So let me try it and say, and they eventually lose their money. So how? What would you say are the best investment options now for women? Maybe women like me, small scale business owners, housewives, people like that stuff. We don't have 1 million. We cannot buy shares, we can't buy stocks and things like that. What can we invest in? Like, what are the options for us?
Wow. What would I say? Anybody can invest.
Yes.
Investment is actually putting money. I talked about savings. I tell people savings must work together with investment for you to actually attain that financial independence. Because savings is taking money aside, keeping a portion of what you earn. But investment is taking that portion that you have kept and putting it somewhere that you will get more return on it. There are several investments that people can do with as low as 5,000, 10,000.
Wow.
Yeah, there are. The thing with people is that, yes, there are several that you can do with even 1 million that you mentioned. But I tell people, like I said, you can start small. Now, even the shares you're talking about, I hope you know you can buy shares with 5,000 naira. Because a company that the unit is, let's say 50 naira, 50 times 1,000, that's how much? Or times 100. Even times 1,000, that's 5,000. Okay, no, that's 50 times 100, that's 5,000. So if you buy 100 units of a company, 5,000, you are a shareholder. No matter how little, it's a process, like I said. So if you buy something of 5,000 and they are paying dividend, for example, 5 naira, 5 naira times 100, that's what they will pay you. And don't forget, the dividend continues every year. Yeah. And you have bought that 5,000 shares now. If they declare bonus and say, okay, for every 10 units, we'll give you 1 extra unit. That means you're going to have extra 10 units added to your 100 units that you have bought. Now, if you buy that shares at 50 naira this year, by next year, if it becomes 55 naira, you have gained 55 naira. So you can buy shares. But I always tell people, before you invest in shares, please seek professional advice to know the companies that are more viable. And that is why, financial consultants like me are there. So seek professional advice. Now, shares, there's also what federal government does now. We call it the savings bond. And they started, I think about 2 years ago, because they realized that a lot of people don't have up to 1 million, but still wants to invest in bonds. Because FGM bonds will start from 1 million, Treasury bill 1 million, but people say I don't have up to that. But you can actually do the savings bond as low as 5,000, and you'll be getting your interest every quarter. Now, you can also do what we call mutual funds. I'm coming down to the ones you can do with as low as 5,000, 10,000. You can start a mutual funds with 10,000 naira. And 10,000 naira, the interest is quite high, about 20%. So, and they're going to be paying you every day on it. So if it's okay, I can only afford to do 10,000, just put it aside in mutual funds and it's growing. So there are investments you can do with as low as 5,000, 10,000. You can buy.
Seek professional help.
Yes.
All right. Now let's talk about the mothers that stay at home, because it's also like a practice here. And there are people that say, oh, I don't want my wife to work, I'm going to provide for her. But just like you said, there's a whole lot that can happen. What if, he loses source of income? What if there's an accident and things like that? So how can somebody that's maybe a stay-at-home mom, or in the case of single mothers that don't have any choice, maybe the husband is dead, maybe they are divorced or something, they have children, they're trying to work, but because of the fact that they're a single parent, it's going to be very, very difficult. So how can they also create financial security?
What I would say is, as much as possible, they're not working, so there's no source of income, but their husband's giving them money. They also need to be frugal. If what they are collecting is 100,000, they have to ensure that within that 100,000, they can take out something little, no matter how little, and put it aside, because they also need it. We've talked about, like you said, there are times that there might be need to. I remember a couple some years ago, the wife came to me and said, my husband doesn't want me to do anything. I need help. I'm not even happy staying at home. And I said, I can't just intrude, except there is a means, an occasion where I can talk. And luckily, we were together at an event and something just happened and it gave room for me to, and I said, that's what you feel if your wife is maybe doing business by the side, even if she's staying at home, or if she has something little to herself. I said, no, doesn't want her to work. I said, what if you lose your job? Or maybe where you are working, they say, we are trying to do something, and we have issues for 2 months, we are not going to pay you. What's going to happen? He said, can that happen? I said, there's no way it cannot happen. So I said, that means you need to allow her do something by the side. And if she's not being allowed to, then I said, okay, I'll think about it. Afterwards, of course, he allowed her. But what if you're not even allowed to do business and it says, just stay at home only, don't do anything? Now we have jobs that you can do online. So even if you're at home, you can devote 1 hour to do, there's so many jobs, there's so many online jobs. So you can do an online job and earn something little. And if you now say, okay, I don't even want to do anything, even the online, I don't want to do it, let me just be collecting money from him. When you collect that money, make sure that you're keeping something aside. Possibly open a small savings account that you're putting and you're not touching it, because anything could happen. And if anything happens, what happens to the children? What happens to the family? So as a stay-at-home mom, there are several opportunities you can do online. If you don't want to do a business, if you're not, going to work, you can work online. 30 minutes, 1 hour, and earn something. Make sure that you have something, no matter how little, that you have kept aside.
All right. Okay. So, lastly, let's talk about how women can improve. How can we improve our credit score? How can we manage debt as well? Because somebody say, I don't want to borrow money, but eventually you borrow money. So, how can you just become better? Like, financially, you make sure that this, even if I borrow money, it's not like something that is too much, so I'm not in so much busy like that. I still have some money, so like lastly, what would you be your advice?
Well, I would say that as much as possible, if you can avoid borrowing money, please avoid it. But if you have to, make sure that you are not borrowing money to fund a lifestyle. Make sure that you're borrowing money to buy an asset that can generate income for you. For example, you are into fashion design, then you can borrow money to buy a machine, because you know that when you do business, you can pay back that loan that you have borrowed. So ensure that whatever you're using that money for is generating income for you. When you have that, you also have to be disciplined to pay back. Now, people have issues with their credit score when they don't keep to the agreement of repayment. I've taken 100,000 and I've said every month I'm going to be paying back 10,000. And then the first month you say, I pay 10,000. The second month, I can't afford this 10,000. It's going to increase your repayment and you have default. So those defaults will affect your repayment, because it's going to make it look bigger or much for you to say, I'm owing this much. So I tell people, before you even take a loan, be sure what you want to take the loan for. Make sure it's not funding a lifestyle. Use it to buy assets that will generate. For example, if somebody says, I want to take a loan to build a house or build a set of shops, wow, I will support you. I will say, go ahead. Of course, don't take too much. Finish the shop, people take it. The rent, you use it to pay back, and you're fine. So you can take loans, but make sure it's for you to generate. Now, if you found yourself in debt already that is choking, it's not the end of the world. Please meet with the creditors and renegotiate. Okay, I have this issue, I'm broke, but I'm going to get another job, or I'm planning. Is there anything you can do? Don't run away. Sometimes you see people when they are owing, they will switch off their phones, change their lines. No, it's not. Even now in the country that we have, where we have credit bureau, all these things are going to be registered with credit bureau. And if you think you're going to run away, it's just for a time. Except you're not going to take loan again anywhere. And by the time our country gets better, they may start registering credit bureau with embassies and all of that. So that is it. So when you're in debt, go back and see how you can pay back. It's just a matter of time. You'll be able to pay back. Just tell yourself, okay, this thing is not going to consume me. What can I do? So if what you're doing, is going to just give you 10,000, then you may need to begin to think of how you can do so many things to quickly come out of it. And then it depends. If you have loans that are small, you can just quickly pay them down so that it does not, choke and look like it's much. Thank you.
Okay, ladies, I hope you've been able to learn one or two things from today, because I'm just here as if I'm in class, just learning a whole lot. Thank you so much for coming in the studio.
Thank you.
Dr. Ambassador Lola Odeyale. Thank you so much for coming. Again, she's an award-winning finance and management consultant with over 19 years of experience in the finance and human resources management industry. She also has a PhD in personnel psychology, and also she's a member of several professional institutes, and she has come here to educate us about budgeting for you as a woman. And I think everybody probably learns from today, because it's not just about the women, but women take notes. Financial independence is very important. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, that's the beat on the Business Monday on the Alpha Show with Islamia. The Alpha Show continues still. Make sure to keep it locked. Don't go nowhere.
Follow me, go. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Lead Radio 1063. You're the reason we keep trending on Twitter.
What we do.
Let's keep the conversation going on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Tweet us at Lead Radio 1063. #Lead Radio. #Life.